Welcome to the Worldwide Telescope tutorial, where we will be going through the process outlined in Part 1 of the Astronomy Rewind activities for the Crab Nebula. Feel free to follow along with the Crab Nebula row in the table on the student worksheet. The black and white image on the screen shows the Crab Nebula from 1969. This is the same image that the Astronomy Rewind tutorial used to crop and mark the coordinates for the placement in the Worldwide Telescope. You may notice that the images are not perfectly aligned. It usually takes the image processing from a variety of different Zooniverse users to get the most accurate placement for each object. The first step in the process outlined in Part 1 uses the digitized sky survey imagery. Be sure that the imagery tool on the lower left of the screen is set to Digitized Sky Survey. You can use the image crossfade tool to fade the black and white image of the Crab Nebula in and out. Using the scroll function on your computer, you can zoom in and out on the field. You will notice a few things about the nebula in this filter. The image is not totally symmetric and has a lot of nebulosity or filaments. It also appears to be isolated. These observations are filled out in the DSS imagery column for the Crab Nebula on your worksheet. According to your clue sheet, this could mean the crab is either a supernova remnant or a planetary nebula. Let's keep these objects in mind as we move through the next two imagery settings. Next, you will use the imagery tool to select the hydrogen alpha full sky map. The image appears to be a deep red and indistinguishable from the background. Zooming out can give you a better feel for objects that aren't at the background level of hydrogen alpha. These observations are filled out in the hydrogen alpha column on your worksheet. Referring to your clue sheet, you should see that supernova remnants aren't typically associated with H-alpha emissions, but planetary nebula are, giving us another clue into the origins of the Crab Nebula. The last imagery tool we will work with for the Crab Nebula is the RAS-ROSAT All-Sky Survey. This tool shows X-ray emission. The Crab Nebula looks like a bright white-blue source that is very symmetric and isolated. These observations are filled out in the ROSAT All-Sky column on your worksheet. The energetic explosion of a large star can account for the type of X-ray emission we see associated with the Crab Nebula. Planetary nebula are not X-ray sources due to their non-violent death. This brings us to the final column on your worksheet. This is where you will decide whether the objects on the table are a star-forming nebula, a supernova remnant, or a planetary nebula. The data we collected and filled out in the table, along with your clue sheet, will help you in making this decision. Based on what we have discussed about the Crab Nebula, decide as a class what object it must be. Happy classifying!